So, what comes to mind when you see this? Alright, well, what about this? Okay, so video games are an extremely important part of our culture and our economic system, whether we're young adults, children, doesn't matter, everyone plays. A lot of people play. Now, the value of video games, I think, lies in the wonderful artwork that they have, the engaging storylines, and the deeply involved problem solving that they present. For these reasons, really, I think video games deserve consideration as a powerful social medium. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by dispelling some common misconceptions about video games. And the first would be that violent video games make violent people. And this is simply wrong. Violent video games, in fact, have been shown to reduce violent tendencies in males ages 18 and up, which are the most violent sector of our society. Now, they do this by providing, according to Cogburn and Silcox in their book Philosophy Through Video Games, they do this by providing a sort of catharsis in which the individual vents their negative emotions on a virtual landscape instead of the people and places around them. Now, the second misconception is that you don't get anything from video games. They're pointless. You don't get anything from buying them and playing them, which is also fundamentally wrong. Video games give us extremely engaging storylines, equivalent to any book that you might read, challenging puzzles, and when the online multiplayer functions are not abused, they can be used to extremely enhance cooperative skills. Now, these lead into my three main points, and so we're going to start with the problem-solving aspect. Oftentimes, video games mix puzzles in so fluidly that you don't even know you're training your brain. For example here, we have a puzzle from the video game God of War 3. And you can see your character down here traversing these enormous boxes, each hundreds of times the size of himself, and he has to find mechanisms in order to move these boxes into the shape of one large box, at the center of which lies the treasure that you're looking for. Now, the entire time that he's doing this, there are enemies trying to A, kill him, and B, cut off the chains that are holding the boxes, therefore plummeting everyone to their deaths. So you can see that there's a lot of focus required in this. Another one from the God of War series, this is the Hera's Garden puzzle, and in this you control optical illusions in the stage by moving the camera around. For example, this staircase here is complete now, but before the staircase was complete, it was one piece lying flat on the ground, and one piece hanging off the wall there. Now, you would move the camera in order to line these things up and make them a part of reality. A fairly well-known puzzle game is Portal. Do you guys know Portal? Alright. So, in this co-op stage of Portal, you have to control with your partner the two opposite sides of this portal gun in order to shoot lasers and items around the field to get to your destination. So, you can see that there's really a lot of time and effort put into making these cognitively challenging. And for these reasons, they are excellent for improving cognitive skills. A study done by the University of Illinois showed that in a group of adults trained in real-time strategy video games, there were improvements in task switching, working memory, short-term memory, and reasoning, as opposed to the control group, who did not show any of these improvements because they did not play. Now, aside from cognitive skills, I think that one of the more important things that video games offer to us are art, visually engaging art. So a big selling point of video games is that they are visually engaging, that they please us, they're aesthetically pleasing. Now, the renderings and the characters and the concept art in these video games all have astronomical amounts of effort and time put into them. For example, this is a concept rendering of the main character of God of War, Kratos, fighting a chimera, a Greek monster. And you can really see in the wind blowing the monster's hair and the streaks of blood that there was a lot of effort put into this. Another one from God of War, this is a CGI computer character modeling before there was coloring on it, but just textures. And you can see in the roughness of the hide and the smoothness of the skin that, again, a lot of effort, a lot of time put into this. This is a concept piece by the creator of Kingdom Hearts, a character named Terra. And again, with the shading under the arms, and the texture of the metal of his weapon, and the texture of his cloth, and the way his hair lies in the breeze, again, you can see that there's a lot of passion put into this. Now, this is another CGI computer rendering of a character called Xehanort, And you can see that in programming him, they took a lot of effort and time on the minute details, such as the darkened wrinkles around the eyes, the different flesh tones of the ears and the sunken temples. The last picture here is from Kingdoms of Amalur. And again, simply, I'm doing this to point out the amount of effort that they put into this. For example, the ridges and the bumps on the armor, the spittle flying from the monster's mouth, the energy trailing from that man's hammer. My point being that there's just, like I said, a lot of passion and energy put into these things. Now, aside from art and cognitive skills, the most important thing, in my opinion, that video games offer to us are engaging storylines. That's what makes a video game human. So, as humans, we enjoy emotional depth. When we go to the theater, an emotionally engaging storyline is good. When we read a book, when we watch a movie, even when we listen to music, there's a storyline behind it that we enjoy. Now, video games are no different. They offer us an engaging storyline. They get us attached to ideas, principles, characters. Sometimes they rip us away from them. Now, we can even say that video games offer this in an extremely heightened version as opposed to other mediums, because you play as the character, and you feel what they feel, and you see what they see, and you really learn what they learn. Now, a study done by the University of Texas showed that unique narrative styles and engaging plot lines were the top selling fact on video games. This is what people buy video games for. So, you can see really that there are many aspects of video games that put them on par with other mediums, art, storyline. Now, these video games are part of the lives of millions of people across the world. And again, for these reasons, they should be a powerful social medium. And before you, even if you play or don't play, before you consider writing video games off as child's play, you should really consider the amount of time and energy and passion that goes into the entire medium.